Want to be a topper in MBA entrance exams? Join BYJU'S Exam Prep, CAT and MBA YouTube channel and watch serial 99 percentilers teaching you the tips and tricks.
Hello friends, a very good afternoon to all of you and a warm welcome on YouTube channel of BYJU'S Exam Prep. Now I'm Gaurav Gupta, some of you might know me, and today we are going to take on part 3 of graphs, charts and tables for MAHCET MBA 2022 preparation. Before we'll start this session, can you all please quickly confirm if I'm audible as well as visible to all of you? Good afternoon, Harshal, Rishabh, Tanvi, good afternoon. So quickly as usual, जो हम हर बार करते हैं, so please tell me if I'm audible and visible so that there are no glitches. Anyone who can confirm? All right, fine, Akshay, thank you very much. So good afternoon everyone and welcome back once again on the YouTube channel of BYJU'S Exam Prep. And today we are going to take on graphs, charts and tables part 3. Now we have already had these sessions in 2 different parts. So the second part was conducted 6 days ago and the first was conducted another 1 week before the second part. So I hope all of you are following all these sessions regularly. In case you are not, please do that. So we have already conducted 2 parts of graphs, charts and tables wherein I have discussed some of the wonderful sets on data interpretation, like the logics which can be learned by all of you and can be applied to tackle these type of questions in your examinations. All right, so good afternoon everyone. Great, good to know that I'm audible properly to all of you. Great, wonderful. So let us start this session. So in this session again I'll be taking on 2 different sets, and these 2 sets will be based on either tables or pie charts or bar graphs, but definitely the level of difficulty and the type of calculations that we are going to see in today's session will definitely match, or it will be on a higher level of difficulty as compared to our actual examination. So the questions that we are going to look at will be of similar or a little higher level of difficulty as far as our actual examination is concerned. All right, now we'll be taking on 2 sets. The first set will have 6 questions and the second set will have 4 questions. All right, now each of these sets will have some questions, 2 or 3 questions that will require good amount of approximation and percentage calculation skills. All right. Yes, Omkar, you want to ask a question? Please, you can go ahead and type your question. Otherwise, if you can wait up till the end of this session, I will be happy to answer you at that time as well. All right. So all of us, let's start with the first set. So the first set with a common set of information, common directions for the first set will be there on your screen in a few moments. You just observe these directions and the data that will be given to all of you. Okay, I'll give you 30 seconds to 45 seconds to observe that data, and then we'll move on to the questions one by one. There is no need to note down the data, as the table or the graphs will be given with each and every question to all of you. All right, so let's go to the first set and look at the common set of directions which are given. So there is a table that is given. Above the table it says that study the tables given below and answer the question that follows. So a table is given and it says that name of the publishing company ABCDE. The data is given for 2 months, May and June. Percentage of published books distributed, number of distributors, same thing is given for June as well. The note says that all the given companies distributed the published books among its respective distributors during both the given months. So this is the entire data that is given to all of you. Now you have to be a little more careful with this particular portion. So this says that percentage of published books which are distributed. So that means there must be some books which will be published, out of which in May 70% of A will be distributed. Similarly for B, 80% of the published books will be distributed. So be careful with the data that is given to all of you. Now let's move on to the very first question. The first question on your screen, and I want each and everyone to be responding, to be solving all these questions. Take these questions as the practice set. If you are not solving this, you are not helping in any way. Okay. So the first question on your screen now. Read this question properly. A little lengthy question, but not a difficult one. I'll give you a few seconds to solve this one. And I would like all of you to solve this and post your answer in the chat. Any answer for this one? Okay, so let's start with this. The question says that in May, Company A published 100 books more than Company B. So they are talking about month of May, and they are talking about Company A and B. All right. So it is given that in May, Company A published 100 books more than Company B. So A and B, number of books published by A is 100 more. So let's say the number of books published by B is X. So number of books published by A will be X plus 100. All right. Okay. Now, if the number of books not distributed by Company B among its distributors in May was 50% of the number of books not distributed by Company A among its distributor in the same month, then what was the number of books published by Company B? So now I have assumed the values of number of books published by A and B. So first statement says that number of books published by A was 100 more than the number of books published by B. Okay. Now further they are talking about the books which are not distributed by these companies. Okay. So not distributed. So let's look at the second column. So number of books or percentage of books distributed by A is 70%. So percentage of books not distributed by A will be 30%. So अगर distribute कर रहे हैं 70%, so distribute not distributed कितना हो जाएगा 30%. So not distributed books by Company A will be 30% of X plus 100. Similarly, I'll write the same thing for Company B. Company B could distribute 80% of the books, so they could not distribute 20%. The remaining 20% will not be distributed. So by A, 30% of X plus 100, and by B, it is 20% of X. Now the relation between these is given as the number of books not distributed by Company B, that means this value, which is 20% of X, was 50%, was half of, so this value is half of 30% of X plus 100. All right. So from here, you can find the value of X, and this is what has been asked in this question. Okay, so अगर मैं solve करता हूँ, so 10% of X will be equal to, okay, so yes, anybody can tell me what is the value of X that you are getting? Come on. So what is the value of X that you are getting? So a lot of you are saying 400 as the answer. Rishabh has just mentioned answer as option A, which is 300. Okay, so I'll solve for X in this case. So X के लिए अगर solve करेंगे, so 2 will go on the left hand side and will become 40%. Okay, so 40% minus 30% of X, that is 10% of X. 10% of X will come out to be 30. So the value of X will be equal to 300. Now all of you got to be very careful with the calculations. So now they are talking about what was the number of books published by Company B. So Company B has published a total of X books whose value is 300. Okay, now if they're talking about the number of books published by A, then that number will be 400, but our correct answer in this case will be 300 and not option B. So please be careful. Weber, Roosters, Abhilasha, Dharmi, do you understand what mistake has been committed by all of you? All right, so let's move on to the next question. Question number 2. All of you focus on this and don't commit the same error in this question. The number of books published by company C in May and June. So they are talking about C in the month of May as well as June was equal. So company C has published equal number of books in both the months May and June. Fine, no problem. If the average number of books received for each distributor of company C in May and June was 168, then what was the number of books published by company C in the month of June? Now do this question very carefully. Now all the questions that we'll be doing today, it will definitely like make you faster when it comes to percentage calculations. So a lot of new things, new type of calculations you'll be learning in today's class. All right, so Roosters and Ananya, I have got answer from these two students, and let us start with the calculations. Now, the first thing that they have given, which is number of books published by company C in both the months is equal. So I'll assume that company C has published 100x books in the month of May and has published 100x books in the month of June. Okay, so in May they have published 100x and in June they have published 100x. Okay, now the books which were distributed in the month of May is 65%. Okay, so 65%, that means 65x. I'm mentioning all the values in the table. For the month of June, it will become 75x. So total number of books that they have distributed in the month of May and June together will be 65x plus 75x, and that is equal to 140x. All right. Now, this is the total number of books distributed. Now, what is the total number of distributors that they have? The number of distributors, the number of distributors is equal to 13 plus 19, and that is 32. Okay, so this is the total number of distributors they have in the month of May and June, and this is the number of books they have distributed together in the month of May and June. Now, statement is saying that if the average number of books received for each distributor in the month of May and June was 168. So average number of books received for each distributor will be total number of books 140x divided by 32, and this value is given as 168. So from here I will get the value of x. So x का value कितना हो जाएगा? 168 multiplied by 32 divided by 140. All right, now let's do the calculations. So सबसे पहले 14 cancel हो जाएगा, so this will be 10 and this will be 12. Okay, then further 10 cancel हो जाएगा, 5 2 cancel हो जाएगा, तो 5 आ जाएगा यहाँ पे, and this will become 6. So 32 into 6 divided by 5. 32 into 6 is 198 divided by 5. So 198 divided by 5 is the value of X that we have received. Okay, fine. So sorted with the value of X. So only one thing that you need to do was calculate the total number of books which are distributed divided by the total number of distributors. That value is given in the question as 168. तो अब x का वैल्यू कितना आ गया? Look at the top left of your screen. 198 divided by 5 is the value of x. Now what they are asking is, what was the number of books published by company C in June? So number of books published was 100x. So 100 into 198 divided by 5. Cancel किया, 20 आ गया. So 198 into 20, the number will come out to be, or the value will come out to be, एक सेकेंड, कुछ गड़बड़ किया है मैंने. Yes, a small mistake. It was 192, not 198. So 192 divided by 5. So 192 divided by 5 multiplied by 20. The answer will be 3840. Okay, so the correct answer, let's see how many of you have given it. Option A is correct answer. So 3840. Saurabh has given correct answer. Vaishnavi, Abhilasha, yes. So these students have given a correct answer. 3840. Yes, Saurabh, 3840 is the correct answer. All right. Okay. Now let's move ahead and look at question number 3. Now understand the way I am doing these calculations. So in the previous question, to look things easy, what I did was I assumed the number of books published as 100x and 100x. Okay, in both the cases, since it was given as equal. The similar kind of thing you can repeat for the next few questions. So question number 3, number of books received by each distributor of company D in May, and that by each distributor of company E in the same month was equal. So number of books received by each distributor, this value is equal for company D and company E for the month of May. All right. The number of books published by company E in May was what percentage of the number of books published by company D in the same month? A very simple, very straightforward question. You can again start by assuming these two values as 100x and 100y. So in this case, the number of books published can be assumed as 100x for D and 100y for the next company E. Okay. Calculate the number of books distributed and then calculate the average number of books distributed, which is now given equal in the question. Okay, so Ananya has given an answer. Ananya says 140. Ananya, 140 is not among the options. So Ananya, read karo ek bar last statement carefully. Number of books published by E was what percentage of the number of books published by D in the same month? So Ananya, X की value, X और Y की जो value है, we have to find the relation between those values. If I'll assume these values as 100x and 100y, then it will be easier for us. In the previous question, the value of x was 192 upon 5. Okay, so let's start with this. All of you focus the way I am doing the calculations. So the number of books published for these two companies have been assumed as 100x and 100y. So number of books distributed will be 72x in the first case and 90y in the second case. Okay. Now number of books received by each distributor for D will be 72x divided by 8, and that is equal to 9x, and for E it will be equal to 90y divided by 6, and that is 15y. Now they have mentioned that these two values are equal. Okay, so 9x is equal to 15y. This is given to us. So I can write the ratio of x and y. So ratio of x and y will be 15 upon 9 or 5 upon 3. Now, this is one important thing that we have calculated, the relation between x and y. Okay, so first part of this question is over. Now let's see, what do we have to do? We have to find out the number of books published by company E. Published by company E is 100y. Was what percentage of the number of books published by company D? So 100y divided by 100x into 100 is what we have to find out, or we have to find out y upon x into 100. So x upon y का value already है मेरे पास. I can write the value of y upon x. So y upon x का value कितना हो जाएगा? It will be 3 upon 5. Multiply by 100. Calculate this percentage and you will get the answer as 60%. So yes, Anirudh and Abhilasha, both of you have given a correct answer. So yes, correct answer is option A, which is 60% in this case. Okay. All right. So please go and look at the way I am doing these calculations. Understand how I am making these calculations look easy. अगर मैं 100x की जगह x assume करता, then the values would come out to be in decimals, and decimals values को handle करना, it's always difficult. So in order to eliminate the decimals, I have assumed the values as 100x and 100y. Okay. Now let's move towards the next question. Question number 4. Dharmi, Akshay and Vivek. Shivangi, yes, all of you are absolutely correct. Very good. So next question, question number 4. In June, the difference between the number of books distributed by B and D was 864. So they are talking about the month of June and company B and company D. If the number of books published by B in June was 1/3 of the number of books published by D in the same month, what was the number of books published by B in the month of June? So again, a very simple question. Start by assuming the number of books published by B and D. The relation is given between the number of books published by these two companies. You can assume the appropriate values and do the calculations. Be a little more careful with this question. All right, Rishikesh, first one to give an answer. Rishikesh, I hope now, like after looking at the last 3 questions, the way we are doing the calculations for this question would have become easier, right? All right, Rishabh and Rishikesh both have given the same answer. So let's start with the calculations. Now, first of all, I'll read this line. Number of books published by B is 1/3 the number of books published by D. So number of books published by D, I'll assume as 300x. So number of books published by B will become 1/3 of this value, that is 100x. Okay, so these are the number of books published by B and D in the month of June. Okay, we are talking about the month of June. So number of books distributed by B in June will be 84% of 100x, that is 84x, and by D will be 52% of 300x. So 52% of 300x calculate करेंगे, so it will come out to be 156x, right? Now the first statement gives you the difference between these two values. 156x minus 84x is given as 864. 156x minus 84x is given as 864. Let's look at the difference. 56 and 16, 72. So 72x is given as 864. So the value of x will come out to be 864 divided by 72. 72 into 10 is 720, and then 144. So it will be 864. Yes. So the value of x will come out to be 12. X का value कितना आ गया? 12 आ गया. Now let's carefully have a look at what we need to calculate. So what was the number of books published by company B? Company B, it is 100x. So 100x, x का value 12 hai, so it will become 1200. So the correct answer should be option E. And Rishikesh, Rishabh, Karan, Anirudh, Vivek, Abhilasha and Vaishnavi, all of you have given a correct answer. Lovely, lovely to see that. Okay. Great. So now all of you are getting a feel of what we need to do in such questions. So let's continue. Let's not stop here. Question number 5. If each distributor of company A received 225 books in June, what was the number of books published by company A in the month of June? Now this might be the easiest question that we are doing today. All right. So Rishabh, Abhilasha, Sahil, three same answers. Ruchi, Prashant, nice. So they're talking about company A and the month is June. So each distributor of company A received 255 books in the month of June. So I'll assume that the number of books published is 100x. Number of books distributed will be 85x, and each distributor will get 85x divided by 16. Okay, number of distributors was 16. Okay, so 85x divided by 16, this number is given as 255. Okay, so the value of x will come out to be 255 multiply 16 divided by 85. Now 85 into 3 is 255. So the value of x will come as 3 into 16, which is 48. So x ka value 48 aa gaya. Now I want the number of books published by company A in the month of June, which was 100x. So 100x, that means 4800 will be the final answer. And the correct answer, yes, it is option A. Wonderful, lovely. Now let's move on to the last question related to this set, and then after that we'll move on to the second set of the day. All right, so Rishikesh has given an answer. Rishabh, Vaishnavi, very good. Okay, so let's read it out. The number of books received by each distributor of company E in the month of June was what percentage less than the number of books not distributed by the same company among its distributors in the same month. So I'll start by assuming the number of books published as 100x. So number of books distributed will be 88x. All right. And the number of books received by each distributor will be equal to 88x divided by 11. That is 8x. So the first thing that is into consideration is 8x, the number of books received by each distributor. So number of books received by each distributor is 8x. This value was what percentage less than the number of books not distributed by the same company. Now percentage of books distributed is 88 percentage. So percentage of books not distributed will be 12%. So books which are not distributed will be equal to 12% of 100x, that is 12x. Fine. So we have to find out 8x is what percentage less than 12x. So 8x is how much less than 12x? It is 4x less than 12x. So that is why denominator will be 12x. And this will come out to be 1 by 3 in terms of fractions. 1 by 3 in terms of fractions is 33.33 percentage. Or you can write it in terms of mixed fraction as 33 1 by 3 percentage. So 33 1 by 3 percentage will be the correct answer in this case. So option D is correct, and majority of you has given a correct answer. Vaishnavi, have you understood your mistake? You have given option C as the answer. I hope you have got your mistake. All right. Okay, Vicky, no problem. It's absolutely fine. You can look at the questions that you have missed once again after this session is over. Right now, this is the time to move on to the next set. So that was the very first set for the day. Good amount of calculations we have seen in this set. Okay. Now let's move on to the second set. But before that, all the students who are there in the session, please quickly hit the like button, comment, share, and subscribe our channel of YouTube, which is BYJU'S Exam Prep channel, and press the bell icon. Don't miss any of the notification of the upcoming session. Okay. All right. So please do hit the like button quickly. I can see only 30 likes at this point in time. Why the number of likes is so less? Come on, quickly increase the number of likes, all of you. All right. So now let's move on to our next set for the day, set number 2. Now again, I'll display the directions for set 2, all the data on the first slide, and then we'll be looking at these questions one by one. Okay. So the data related to the second set on your screen now. I'll wait on this slide for a few moments. Read all the necessary information that is written on this slide. There is no need to draw the pie chart, no need to note down the values in the table, because pie chart and the table will be given to you with the questions that will be solving. Thank you, Vivek. Thank you, Rishabh. Okay, so the question says that the pie chart given below shows the percentage of cloths manufactured by 5 different companies. Percentage of cloths manufactured by 5 different companies. Companies are PQRST. So this is manufactured. Okay. and the table shows the percentage of cloths sold out of the manufactured. So जितने manufacture हुए हैं उसमें से कितने sell out हुए हैं, this is given by the table for each of these 5 companies. The total clothes manufactured by 5 companies together in the month of January is given as 1,25,000. Okay, so 1,25,000 is the total number of cloths manufactured. Now Vaishnavi, like I told you at the beginning of the session, level of difficulty of the questions that we are doing right now may be similar or a little higher than the actual level of difficulty. So in actual examination, you will see questions easier than this. Like obviously there is not a single set that comes in the examination, so there are some questions which might be easier than this, there are some questions which might be at the same level of difficulty than what we are doing right now. So if you want to look at the actual, or if you want to have a good idea about the level of difficulty in the examination, then attend all the sessions that I'm taking. So in part 1 and part 2 we have done easier questions as well. Okay, but we cannot be under prepared, so that is why I am preparing all of you for any level of difficulty that you may see in the examination. All right, okay, so I hope the data is clear to all of you. Let's move on to the first question related to this data. So the first question on your screen now. Now do all the calculations very carefully. All right, Modi Sarkar, option C, nice. Any other answer for this one? Pankaj, good. Okay, now this particular set is a perfect example which will show you that you don't have to do calculations completely. Okay, so this is a perfect example in which this total value of the number of cloths manufactured will not be used. Okay, so please try not to write this number again and again. Whenever required, use this number. Whenever not required, don't use this number. The first question is asking you about the ratio. Okay, now total number of cloths manufactured you can assume as X. X assume kar lo. ठीक है? So what is the ratio of total clothes manufactured by company R and company T together? So company R and company T together, it will be 20% and 18%. So R is 18%, T is 20%. So they are basically talking about 20 plus 18, that is 38% of X. इसका रेशियो हमें कैलकुलेट करना है कौन सी वैल्यू से? To the total number of cloths sold by company P and company S. Now look at the left hand side of the screen. Company P has manufactured, I'm writing M. Company P has manufactured 12% of X number of cloths. Company P will sell 70% of this value. That is 70% of 12% of X. Okay. Now, whenever you will be calculating the ratio, then X का जो value है वो cancel हो जाएगा. Right? ओके, एम आई क्लियर? सो x को कंसिडर करने की जरूरत ही नहीं है. सो 70% ऑफ 12, 70% ऑफ 12 कितना होगा? इट विल बी 8.4%. ओके, सो दैट विल बी द परसेंटेज ऑफ क्लॉथ्स सोल्ड बाय कंपनी P. सो कंपनी P कितना सेल करेगी? आई एम राइटिंग इट वंस अगेन. कंपनी P विल सेल 70% ऑफ 12. सो मैं इसको सिर्फ 12 कंसिडर कर रहा हूं. 70% ऑफ 12 दैट विल बी 8.4. and company S will sell 80% of 24. 80% of 24 will be 19.2. Okay, so together they will sell what percentage? 8.4 plus 19.2, that is 27.6. Okay, अब ये परसेंटेज ऑफ एक्स लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है, बिकॉज ये चीज कैंसिल हो जाएगी. ऑलराइट, सो अपना टाइम सेव करो बाय नॉट राइटिंग दीज परसेंटेज ऑफ एक्स अगेन एंड अगेन एंड अगेन. ठीक है, टाइम सेव करो. जितना कम लिखोगे उतना कम टाइम लगेगा. सो द रेशियो दैट वी हैव टू कैलकुलेट इज 380 डिवाइडेड बाय 276. 4 कैंसिल कर लेते हैं. सो 95 डिवाइडेड बाय 6969. So 95 upon 69 will be the correct answer. Okay, so it is important to understand कि बार बार ये परसेंटेज या फिर x या फिर टोटल वैल्यू which was 1,25,000, there is no need to write all these things because eventually ये सारी चीजें कैंसिल आउट हो जाएंगी. So जो चीजें कैंसिल आउट होने वाली है, why to write them and waste our time again and again? Okay, so you can avoid writing all these things. So the correct answer here will be option C. Let's move on to the second question related to this set. Which company has the lowest sales? Now this will be an interesting question. Which of these 5 companies has the lowest sales? I hope all of you have pressed the like button. If not, please do that quickly. Tell me the option number, guys. A, B, C, D, E. Okay. Now I'm writing the sales for each of these companies. So for P, the sales will be 70% of 12. 70% of 12. For Q, it will be 82% of 26. I want to find the lowest sales. So obviously Q will not have the lowest sales because Q के केस में दोनों values 82 is more than 70 and 26 is more than 12. So definitely Q will not be the answer. I'll write the value for R, which is 65% of 18. Now 65 is less than 70. अगर मैं P से compare करूं, so Q को तो eliminate कर दिया हमने, P से compare करते हैं. So 65 is less than 70 and 18 is more. So I'll keep the value of R. S, 80% of 24. Again, 80 is more than the previous values. 24 is also more than the previous values. So S cannot be the lowest. Similarly, T, which is 75% of 20, can be eliminated on the same grounds. So I'm left with two values to compare: 70% of 12 and 65% of 18. Okay, fine. These are the two values that I have to compare. अब एक चीज देखो, 12 और 18 में फर्क कितने का है, डिफरेंस कितने का है? 18 is 1.5 times of 12. 18 is 1.5 times of 12 and 70 and 65 are approximately equal. Okay, so 1.5 times hai. So obviously this value will be greater and 70% of 12 will be lesser. अगर observation से समझ में आता है, it's well and good. Otherwise, you can also calculate their approximate values. Approximate values calculate कर सकते हो. So 70% of 12 will come out to be 8.4 to be precise. ठीक है. अब 65% of 18 अगर कैलकुलेट करना है तो ये वैल्यू 11 के आसपास आएगी. 11 के आसपास आएगी. So definitely 11 is more than 8.4. So the lowest sales will be for company P, and the correct answer is option A. Now, most of you have given option A now, but at the beginning, some of you were giving different answers, which you have already deleted. Okay. So I keep telling you in every session, there is no need to delete the answers. It's absolutely fine if we are committing mistakes. We are human beings and mistakes can be committed. Okay, fine. So let's move on to the next question, question number 3. Clothes unsold by company R is how much percentage more or less than the clothes unsold by company P? Now I'll give you one easier way to handle these calculations. Okay. So you have to find out R is what percentage more or less than P. ठीक है. So मैं more or less को भूल जाता हूं. अभी right now I'll find out the ratio of R and P. So there are two things, cloths unsold by R and cloths unsold by P. I'll find out the simple ratio of these two numbers. So cloths unsold by R. So R has sold 65%. So percentage unsold will be 35%. 35% of how much is manufactured? 18%. So 35% of 18 is the value for R. इसके बाद का तो cancel out हो जाना है. Divided by, for P, unsold will be 30%. Okay, and 30% of 12. So 30% of 12. Now calculate the simplest ratio of these two. Okay, simplest ratio calculate कर लेते हैं. So 18 and 12 cancel हो जाएंगे. So I can write it as 35 into 18 divided by 30 into 12. Okay, percentage of मैंने cancel कर दिया. So this will be 6 and this will be 7. This is 3 and this is 2. Okay, and then 2 and this 3 will cancel. So the simplest ratio will come out to be 7 upon 4. Okay, so 7 upon 4 is the ratio of R and P. So if the value of R is 7 and the value of P is 4, then R is what percentage more or less than P? 7 is what percentage more or less than 4? So 7 is definitely more than 4. So 7 is how much more than 4? 7 is 3 more than 4. So 3 divided by 4 into 100, and this percentage will come out to be 75%. All right. So the correct answer in this case will exactly be 75%. Right, Vicky? So 77 nahi hoga. This will be 75%. I hope I am clear with the calculation. So मैंने क्या किया? मैंने R और P का exact value नहीं निकाला. I didn't even calculate at the beginning that R is how much percentage more or less than P. So what I did was I calculated the simple ratio of R and P. I calculated the simple ratio that came out to be 7 upon 4, and then I find out that R is what percentage more or less than the value of P. Okay, so this will be an appropriate or the faster way of doing these questions. All right, let's move on to question number 4. Akshay, I will go back to the previous question as soon as I'm done with this one. All right, Akshay. Now read the language carefully. Be careful with exactly what they are asking for. Now the total number of cloths unsold in S and T together. So S and T together unsold 20% and 25% of they have manufactured. So S and T unsold, S and T unsold, the first value that they want is, so for S it will be 20% of 24. 20% of 24 कितना हो जाएगा 4.8. And then for T it will be 25% of 20. 25% of 20 will be 5. So the first value is coming out to be 9.8. The total number of unsold cloths in company S and T together. I'm writing it once again on the left hand side. For S it will be 20% of 24. Sold is 80%, unsold will be 20%, 20% of what they have manufactured. Okay, so this value will come out to be 4.8. And for T, it will be 25% of 20. That will come out to be 5. So 4.8 plus 5, it is a total of 9.8. This value is what percentage of the total number of cloths manufactured by P and T. Manufactured by P and T, that means this part. So P plus T का manufactured कितना होगा 20 plus 12, that is 32%. So 9.8% and 32%. अब इसमें find out करना है, the first value is what percentage of the second value. So it will be 9.8 divided by 32 multiplied by 100. Simple. So 980 divided by 32. 4 cancel कर लेते हैं. So 490 and 245 divided by 8. So this value will come out to be 35 by 8 percentage. Simple calculation, straightforward calculation. The correct answer is option C. So once you are fine with calculations, then you don't have to worry about your calculations again and again. The only thing that you have to worry about is picking up the right values from the table and interpreting the data, interpreting the question in a proper manner. All right. So that was question number 4. Yes, Akash, it will be 30.625, which can be written as 35 by 8. Since options were in mixed fractions, I have calculated my answer in mixed fractions. Clear? Now, Akshay, I'm going back to the previous question for you. So we have calculated the ratio of R and P as 7:4. So R and P का ratio कितना आ गया? R upon P is 7/4. Now the question is asking that R is how much percentage more or less than P. So since R is to P is 7/4, I can see that R is more than P. So you will have to find out R is what percentage more than P. This is what you have to calculate. So 7 is what percentage more than 4. 7 is what percentage more than 4. तो 7 4 से कितना ज्यादा है 3 ज्यादा है divided by it will be the value of P divided by 4 into 100. Do the calculations, you will get the answer as 75%. All right. Okay. So friends, that is all from my side. That was the last question for the day. So today we discussed 2 sets in every sessions. In the previous sessions as well, we have discussed a variety of questions based on data interpretation. So if you haven't seen the first and the second part of this particular session, you can watch that. The first part was conducted 13 days ago and the second part was conducted 6 days ago. So आज से 6 दिन पहले second part था आज से 13 days पहले first part था. So these two parts were conducted in the last 2 weeks. You all can have a look at these sessions so that you have a proper idea about the level of difficulty and the types of questions that you are going to see in MAHCET 2022 examination. Please like my session, comment, share and subscribe our channel. Please press the bell icon once you have subscribed. Otherwise, you will miss all the sessions. Okay, so if you don't want to miss any of the sessions, you want to get regular notifications, do subscribe and press the bell icon. Now, this is the list of toppers from CAT 2021. For CAT 2022 comprehensive program, in case anybody is interested and want to join, all the important set of information is given on the screen, and you can call to our counselor to get the proper details about all these sessions. You can follow us on Instagram, subscribe our YouTube channel of BYJU'S Exam Prep and press the bell icon, like our Facebook page, join our Telegram group and download the app from Google Play. Now, once you have downloaded the app, I must tell you that we have a lot of free sessions for CAT and MAHCET examinations which are happening on our app as well. So once you have downloaded, you can also have an access to all these free sessions on the app, the way you are attending all these sessions on the YouTube. That is all from my side, my dear friends. I hope you liked this session. If you have liked the session, once again, I'm requesting you to press the like button, share, subscribe, and comment. That's all from my side for the day. We'll see you once again with many more sessions like this. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.